Very well, everyone, and welcome back to Let's Play Grandia II. Last time, Ryudo managed to release the Granas of Valmar from within him, and the Granas came to form into the Granas saber. The best weapon for Ryudo, cuts the speed consumption by 15%, which I really appreciate because, you know, Sky Dragon Slash costs a lot, so now it costs a lot less. And because of that, combo attacks, you can keep that, I guess? We're gonna keep this build for now. I did make some changes which I'll go over in a minute, but for now, we're more than ready to face Valmar, the Zord that's brought me here. It is high time that we start a reckoning with Valmar. Are we prepared? Come, we shall make an end of this. Insolence, power of the human heart indeed. I spit upon your feeble strength. Come then and test the might of your god. I would rather test the might of your not god, because that's the whole point. Also, Valmar PNG again. I didn't make any comments last time about the weird things that happened, or like the dialogue, or anything really, because we got an insane amount of exposition last time. And it's time we talk about it, but before we talk about that, let me just show you the build here, but it's always the same. It's a strength build of Ryudo. Like, we just don't care about defense. Everything gives attack, we give it to him. Except warp shoes, because warp shoes are cool. Okay. And so Basura for combos. Chaos Sag is there, I guess, but you don't really need it for anything. Just have Ryudo have some utility, I guess. Elena's got the Fairy Egg, she's the support. She's got basically as much of defense as possible. The Angel Ring is fun, I guess. Restores HP in combat is cool. Suppresses IP loss, and that's kind of it. We'll get more stuff as well in here. I had the huge flail on for a bit while I was trying to farm demons, but other than that, nothing that useful. Ronas the Swordbreaker is possibly the best weapon he has just because of its effect. You can give him other stuff. I mean, you have the Gladius if you just want more attack, and I guess if you want to do a strength build, you can use that. Also, the Warp Knife, it does less damage, but hey, warping is fun. You can have him be a cancel build, right? And then there's just a bunch of stuff that doesn't really need it. He's the caster, by the way. He's got the Demon Necklace for that. And I'll have to switch him around his skills a little bit, because I believe he still has that build for when he was farming the demons. The OSD bait tank, and that's all there is to it. Don't have to explain anything else, really. Let's go ahead and change your stuff. Actually, remove everything. Start from scratch. Now, one thing I want to invest on, well, actually, we got Wizard Chant here, and Magic Esoterica. I'll probably just do some weird stuff here. Magic Esoterica and Wizardry Chant. Then we'll give him an Explosion one. Boom Flame is pretty good. It's enough to have, like, once you have two abilities that enhance one type, that's it. You can't stack more than those. So stop it. Don't put another fire. Like, if I wanted to do, you got Fire Explosion and Fire Wind Lightning Explosion. If I put another explosion, the buffing one, it's not gonna matter. I'm wasting a slot. Now, we're gonna give you more intelligence, we're gonna give you more MPs, and I could give you even more magic. Forget health. Let's just go full damage. He's got good health. I mean, look, the others have life up because it's good, but he's got 3000 HP. It's not bad. And everything else is just the same, really. You got basically Further Mentality, Earth Forest to cast faster. That's kind of it. Life up, toughness to not die, and you just strength. And I guess we could. Speed is fun. I mean, it's fun. It's fun and fine. We could give up one of these if we just wanted to do damage for, what is it? Let's see if I can find it. It's the one that makes skill stronger. No? What is it? No? Move recover? Isn't there one that makes skill stronger? Maximum speeds? No. I forget. No, there's not one. So that's pretty good like that. I mean, you could do the Fighting Spirit. No, wait, what is it? Move Recover is pretty good. But I'd rather have more SP so I can just bust out more Sky Dragon Slashes. Alright, that being said, we move on and fight the first enemy, which is A reskin of an old enemy we already know of. It's the killer tree, and ooh, wait, this guy is okay. Let's see here. I have the Granas saber. Let's just go ahead and attack this guy. Ooh, they're pretty tanky. You're going to attack. They're both going to attack. This guy's trying to napalm fruit. I'm just gonna try to cancel it. And then you can try a burn flame as per usual. Now the Rowan doesn't cast as fast because the wizardry chant that powers up 4 things isn't as strong. Oh wait, they resist fire. We gotta go with boom, I guess. Okay, he's just going to attack, so it's fine. In fact, I will attack. Well, I can attack you anyway. You're low on health. You should be able, if you don't absolutely miss, like an idiot. There you go. There was one that had a lot of bells. This guy right here, which is standing by. He's not just going to attack, so it's fine. Get him. Good, they dropped the seed, which is what I like. They have a very good seed drop.
These guys were no real challenge.
And drops all around seed. Have we seen them before? I forget. If not, they're very good. Let's over here. We've seen all around seeds before. No, we haven't. 10 HP, MPs, and SPs. Of course, I'm not gonna use them, but it's there. They drop them, and I believe we're gonna find some as well. So that's a pretty good. It's an enemy you want to be on the lookout for, especially for those bells. And keep the pirate ring. Does someone have pirate ring on? Hang on a minute. Where's pirate ring? You have pirate ring. Okay, cool. We need someone pirate ring because there are very good drops in this dungeon. It is the final dungeon, as you can probably tell. I mean, we're about to defeat the evil god. If this wasn't the final dungeon, it would be weird at this point. Thankfully, it's not very complicated of a dungeon, but it can be hard. It can be, some fights can be tough. Let's just put it that way. Not incredibly hard, but if you lose control of the flow, some battles can be a bit of a problem. So we got some more Dragon Knights. Maybe we can score a rare drop if we're lucky. I haven't been able to do that. I actually tried to get the Dragon Wand or whatever it is, and just, nope. Cannot see that at all. Now, while we go through this dungeon, hopefully, there is a lot to unpack on that explanation that Elmo gave us. And the thing is, I would like to give you all the answers, but we don't have all the answers. That's the problem. We don't. We just don't. This game is just incomplete, in my opinion. There's a lot that we would like to like have explained.
Here goes my impact bomb.
You know, that explanation doesn't do much for us. It does a little bit. It helps in us understanding some of the past, some of the lore of the world. But other than that, it doesn't really do much. That hurts. I believe that can paralyze you as well.
Rage and fury.
See if these guys are weak to fire. Forget. There you are.
We won.
In fact, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna switch off the wizard chant for the fire one. I could just give up Magic Esoterica, but Magic Esoterica is actually pretty nice if you combine it with... I'm gonna do Zap Fire so I can have Instacast on fire. Alright, so while we defeat enemies and stuff, let me just try to explain, at least my headcanon, what we were explained by Elmo. So...
Rage and fury!
Wait, why don't you Instacast? Am I missing something here? Wait a minute, before I start the explanation. What's going on here?
That was a breeze.
Shouldn't you be able to instacast Ron at this point? You have 2 chances with fire on it. Right? Not. Fire lightning, fire explosion. Why do you not instacast? What am I missing here? Your spells are maxed out, aren't they? Oh, they are not. That's why. Burn is. Okay, we need to spend some points here. We have a few. And definitely it's some eggs. Dragon egg. Burn Flame max and Boom is max. That's what we need anyway. I'll keep the other magic coins. I don't really need them. Adventure book, magic recover. I mean, not really need to. Again, I have most of the stuff that I want anyway. So actually, you know what? No. What is it? Soul offensive, right? What is it? We are going to spend all of it on this one. Like, we're just gonna do this. Spend or whatever at this point. Even the skills, like, literally at this stage, what we're gonna spend those on? There's so many, and we're gonna acquire a lot more. You're all maxed. You're all maxed. Great. And then skills. I have no greens, right? I have no greens, so right now it's only going up. The special coins are only going up. Magic coins I still have a lot to spend on. Alright, now we should be able to insta-cast. At least Burn Flame. Not gonna insta-cast Boom just yet, but we should be able to insta-cast. So yeah, let's just talk about it a little bit if we can. From what I can gather from that explanation, so we have, it was briefly mentioned that Granas and Valmar were researchers. So what I believe they were trying to tell us in a very fast and weird way is that basically, you know, they weren't gods to begin with, they were just humans like us. And there was this civilization which we don't know the name of, I don't think we do. And basically they were just, you know, doing research and just advancing their technology as our civilization happened to try to do. And at one point they realized they could, you know, in this lab they could get the power of gods and ascend to an higher form of being or something. There's an all-around seed. And so, first Granas did that, right? The person, or rather, we don't know if it was called Granas in reality or if it was just like, you know, it's called, it got the name Granas later. Makes any sense? But we got the god Granas, and the way the Granas work is that, like, we don't know exactly how it works, but what we know is that Granas gave basically infinite energy to people. Is that what it comes down to, right? It gave people the infinite energy, and with infinite energy came basically infinite prosperity. Because if you got infinite energy, then you know you have some of the limits of what you can do are essentially lifted, right? Skull Potion, Gold Feather, and Loving Ribbon. Give me a second. What's the Loving Ribbon? Something that's good for you. More HP in combat. Should we do the HP regen build? That's pretty nice to do that. Let's just do it. Let's just do it and see how much she recovers. It's pretty good. So, like, when you have infinite energy, like, you can build so many things, you can create so many machines, right? And so this civilization prospered a lot. Now the catch with that was the way you would create that sort of infinite energy was with prayer in a way. The people had to pray to Granas constantly, okay? And Granas needed a devotion to apparently fuel his source of energy. Here we got a Dirk. It has WoW in it. I don't like it, but it's got WoW in it, I guess. So yeah, that's how it worked. And so eventually, like, people with this infinite prosperity, infinite energy, and everything, they became sort of soulless, right? It is the usual conundrum of if the civilization has there's no conflict within a civilization. If everything is just given to you, then they essentially die because they don't have any purpose, right? It is the thing that you see in the Star Trek episode, This Side of Paradise, right? Where Kirk is like, if man has no objective, there's no conflict, no difficulty, it loses to have any purpose. So that's what the civilization under Granas was. And some people saw through that problem, and they were like, well, yes, we have everything we want, but you know, we're stuck in this state where we are. What's the word for it? We're stale. We reached the peak of evolution in a way. What am I searching for in this menu? This. There you go. And so they looked around and found the birthplace of the gods, which is at this point it was abandoned because it was completely useless to have anything else other than Granas, right? So they discovered it, and they figured out a way to use that and create Valmar, a god that would instead draw power from the inner desires of people. Also, we have this thing. Oh, let's talk about this fight for a second. This is Valmar Magna was preparing to attack here. They're all attacking, of course, they're all attacking her because tank. But let's see here. Let's see if I can cancel that. Almost do it. I'm gonna burn flame just because it's instant.
Rage and fury.
Okay, one thing about this fight, this Valmar Magna here is a new enemy. It is kind of resistant to fire, but Tio's not dodging anyway. Oh, probably she was occupied doing stuff. What you're doing, attack Tio is fine. In fact, just heal her just in case.
Come, oh life-bearing water.
This Valmar Magna has a chance to drop Ron's best weapon in the game at all.
Take that!
It doesn't have a cooler effect than the Swordbreaker, but it is pretty strong. I think he has the highest attack rating in the game for his daggers. But the chance is pretty low, and you only have a few of these enemies throughout the game. I believe there's only 3 or 4. So yeah, that is a problem if you want to build. You know, if you want to find everything, it's a little bit of a problem. Thankfully, we do have one. Actually, we have a couple of those near save points. That's probably the ones you want to farm. No, he's just going to do a basic attack. I'm just going to move here. Hopefully, I'll dodge it. Let's do a combo. Sway, perfect. I missed the counter attack, but that's fine. Sure, why not?
Here goes.
Let's just wait until this fight is over to discuss lore. Just to make sure I don't make any mistakes. So this guy can be a bit tough if you live into his own devices. Okay, standing by still. You lowered your attack. 1, 2, 3, 4. He goes getting a turn. Boom, whatever. I'm just gonna cancel.
Lotus flower. Bloom.
And hopefully your Ron is gonna get going. Let's see. Attack is fine. And lower your attack as well. 1, 2, 3, 4. A counter. And miss completely. He's a chunk. At this point, he's just... There you go. And no weapon, unfortunately.
We won!
But, yeah. There was no chance I was gonna get it from this guy. You Valmar too. So, where was I with that thought? Yeah, right. Okay, I remember. Valmar! Right. So, people figured out the power of Valmar. It was the power that came from human emotions. Well... And there's a lot of like parallels between Valmar and Granas and the id and the super ego. If you haven't picked up on those already, right? The id is essentially our shadow, right? Our instinctual side, our animal side, right? So about survival and emotions and feelings and all of that. While our super ego is everything that comes from our society and the rules and the the reason and all of that.
Smash you to pieces.
And neither of those, like at its extremes, they're both bad, right? Because if you go full id, you essentially become an animal, right? You just rely on nature's instincts. And that's not good, right? Because most of those tend to be bad toward others and aggressive and like something like that, right? But if you go full rules and regulations, you become basically stale and frigid in a way, right? So balance has to be found, and that's where the ego comes in, right? The ego is the third entity that mediates. It's really called the mediator in some textbooks, right? It basically has the role of doing just that, mediate between the two parts, so that you can find a balance, right? There's a lot of that in this game, especially
Rage
with
and
Granas and
fury.
Valmar. Granas is the super ego, and Valmar is the id. And then
Wind speed 0, 1,
you have this
2, 0.
also, if you couldn't tell. I don't know if I mentioned before, but Elena and Millennia serve, in a way, the same purpose. Well, one obviously represents Granas and one Valmar, so it's obvious just by looking at that. But these guys are super hard to hit, though. Not quite. We're doing some good damage. And there even is a someone representing the ego here. And I don't know if you can tell who that person is, but I'm just gonna let you guess and come up with your own answer. And if you didn't guess it by now who that person is, you're gonna know by the end of the game for sure. Who's the one that would mediate between Elena and Millennia? This is, you know. Well, you think that's it? That is. I'm just gonna fight this gun again. Sure, why not? Also, I can spam because I'm near a save point.
Sworn enemies, you shall be defeated!
So, way back when, that's the point where when Valmar was created, essentially, it gathered some followers. Some other people were like, yeah, I guess we don't really like Granas, and they started following Valmar. And then the Battle of Good and Evil happened.
These guys were no real challenge.
That's how I interpret that exposition. I'm not sure if I'm right, but you know, that's how I see it, at least. Okay, we'll fight this one as well. Fuck it. We get Rowan first. No, we can't. And God forbid having Rowan go first.
Rage and fury.
Are these weak to fire at all? No, we have to use boom on these guys, I guess. I shouldn't have an attack, now she won't be able to dodge. Yep. It's my fault. Let's just go for another burn flame here.
Rage and fury.
And we also got, from Elmo still, we got the revelation of the seals of Valmar. Why did I use that? I knew it wasn't effective. We got the revelation that the seals, you know, weren't really seals. I mean, we could have guessed that somehow. But we got the confirmation there where, you know, the seals were actually meant to prepare the body for the revival of Valmar.
You better practice if you
And now,
want to beat me.
with that context though, we now know why Elena and Millennia, you know, we know why Millennia happened. Because if you remember way back when we went into Garmia Tower at the beginning of the game. Was it Garmia Tower? Yeah, it was Garmia Tower. When we went into Garmia Tower at the beginning of the game, Elena was getting possessed by the wings, but Ryudo stopped it halfway through the process, which is basically why Millennia happened.
Sworn
If
enemies,
Ryudo hadn't
you shall
stopped
be
the
defeated.
possession of Elena,
Take that.
Elena would have just turned into a monster.
Sky Dragon Slash!
Very likely that would happen. Instead, we got Millennia and we got Elena and Millennia sharing the body because, you know, the process wasn't complete, and so we only have these two people sharing one body. Except now Millennia is gone, which is a problem because everyone loves Millennia, right? And we get Holy Sword Armor, which I'm not sure what that does. You take it, I guess. Also, I got another reflect mail off the screen. Can you even? You can't wear that. I guess it's only Ryudo? Okay, raises power of moves, this is pretty good. I'm taking away 5 attacks to get that. because up spouted moves means my Sky Dragon Slash is gonna do crazy damage. And 5 strength is like no strength, but 5 attack. I would gladly give away 5 attack for that. There's also like another theory that goes around and is equally as valid on what Valmar really represents, right? We talked about the idea in the Super Ego, and that's just pretty obvious, right? Like if you played Xenogears, you know this stuff, and it's pretty standard. You know, this and Xenogears aren't the only RPGs that do that. But let me see here. No, we're gonna go this way. Let's see here. Okay, we have to reach that button, right? What was I trying to talk about here? I completely forgot. That's an enemy. I don't want that enemy. Good. I don't want to fight more than I ever need to. So by the way, I haven't talked about these rooms before, but basically you have to press the button corresponding to the way you want to go. And some release enemies, some have items, some have virtual paths. That's all there is to it, really. Oh, finally, go first. There you go. Yeah, let's see this.
Smash you to pieces!
Probably not gonna kill, but it's pretty close. Then we can really just one-shot everything.
These guys were no real
Fortunately,
challenge.
not drops. Oh, by the way, every single money you find here is completely useless. So I don't know why the game keeps giving you money, because there's no shop. Like, at all, there's literally no shops. And this is something that happened in Grandia 1 too, like the final dungeon was full of money, but like, there's no way to spend the money, so what the fuck? Why are you giving me money at this point? Like, if there was a shop at the start of the dungeon, I would understand it, but there just isn't, so like, why? Oh well, whatever.
Smash you to pieces!
So, another theory goes around is that Valmar actually represents the 7 deadly sins. You can sort of see that. In some parts of Valmar is more clear to see what that, you know, is actually clearer. Like, obviously the tongue of Valmar represents some gluttony, right? That's pretty obvious. But like some are less obvious. Like, what are the eyes exactly? The eyes are probably envy, if you go with that theory. And then we have, well, the wings is obviously lust, right? That's a pretty obvious one too. But then we have eyes, and we have eyes, tongue, and then we have the claws. Like, what are the claws exactly? Avarice, I guess. They're probably avarice because we happened to find them in the factory that was under the castle, and it was the pride of the people of darkness here. I say as Ron is taking a turn, of course.
Smash you to pieces!
So I guess if that would be avarice, but it's a little bit of a stretch if you think about it. It's not super, you know, clear that that's what it is. I even read the symbolism correctly. And then you have, well, the horn is pride, and you can see it in Melvis. I believe it's pretty on point. Then the theory goes around saying that the body is sloth, because it just sits there doing absolutely nothing and waiting for the other pieces to come to him. And that would mean there is only one sin left, which I do not remember the name of. Great. Just do whatever. What would be the last sin, though? We got most of them at this point.
Smash you
Wow.
to pieces!
I hate that I'm just hitting one enemy here. Also need to heal Tio because she's getting fucked up. These things, by the way, these flies have a lot of move. They're really fast, so even Tio with her evade build cannot evade everything, and also she cannot evade while she's doing animations. She can do that sometimes, that's nice. I can't think of the last deadly sin, but the last deadly sin is what the heart is supposed to be. And I don't remember what it is, but it doesn't really fit. That's what I remember. It doesn't really fit with that sin. Well, you know, you can make that argument, and maybe that was the intention as well, but I feel like it wasn't developed enough for it to make sense.
You better practice if you want to beat me.
It's weird because some of them are pretty clear that they are part of the 7 deadly sins, and some are just you have to really think, you stretch your imagination. I need to get that item, which means I'm gonna have to fight one more battle.